The one thing like we work on is with the framing. Someone hits, so the frame, right, and kind of just absorb it or go into it. So another thing you should have is just like the regular body mechanics of slipping. So like if he threw the punch, I want a side shoulder slip, okay? So sometimes maybe you don't have your hands up or whatever it is, or I cover here and then like someone else throws the punch and I gotta slip really quick. I don't always have time to do it, so you need like a box of tools instead of just having the one. All right, so right now we're gonna go, if he throws the jab, I always wanna try and go to the outside, okay? So I'm gonna side shoulder slip, so I turn my body, come to the outside. Now another key thing about it is I don't wanna, whenever you do a slip, I don't wanna step back because then I'm taking myself away from him. So when I do my side shoulder slip, I wanna step like in, so then I can come over like the top or try and move in. The whole thing is entering. I wanna get closer to him so I can hit him. If all I do is kind of like back up and then he keeps coming after me, I'm backing up, and then eventually he's gonna run me down, all right? So I always wanna try and cut the angle and then come in. So just a warm-up drill, I'm gonna side shoulder slip and then I'm gonna go 2 punches, 1, 2, okay? From there, I gotta move. He can hit me again if he wants to, and I can cover, like we did with the framing and like with Matt this morning, okay? So we're moving, he throws a punch, and then just move around, cut your angle, and then when he throws another punch, side shoulder slip this way. If he throws that punch, then I'm gonna side shoulder slip this way. 1, 2, and then if I move, okay? But if he throws the punch at me right away, then I wanna cover with the frame and hit again. So, any punches, right? Side shoulder slip, 1, 2, if I move, if he throws another punch, I have to cover it, I go 1, 2 again, okay? So, if he hits me, then I wanna hit him back with 2 punches. All right, even if I block it. So on that last one, I cover it. I want to still come back 1, 2, and then cut my angle and move. All right, and then we start going. He throws a punch. All right, side shoulder slip, 1, 2, cover, and then move. All right, so and then that's the whole time. So it doesn't always have to be that second punch. I want you to focus more on the slips. Okay, but if he happens to throw that punch afterwards, cover it, throw you 2 punches, and then get out of the way, cut an angle. Everyone understand? Yeah, somewhat?
Yes.
All right, let's do it. Close. Like we're gonna be here, okay? And then when I decide to like punch Matt, I'm gonna step forward. That's gonna give him that's gonna give him that second to like actually react, slip, anything like that. Like if we were to start a fight here, it's gonna be hard to slip a punch when it's coming that fast, or hard to cover, all right? So it's up to the guy that's doing the frame right now to keep his distance. So if Matt steps forward, I either want to like keep my distance back, or when Matt steps forward, that's when I enter in. So when I know when he steps forward, he's going to be trying to throw a punch, and even if he doesn't, I don't give a shit.
Okay.
Right? Like
to his point, too, it's like this is more realistic for me. It's like, you know, this is talking, fighting. In order to touch him, I have to give energy forward. I have to actually have a proper stepping jab. We're not going to be like idiots. Like,
no,
gotcha.
Then you're just holding off on each other. You have no, just keeping that like 6 inches further. It gives you that like half a second or second to like react. So you never want to like when you're fighting, you're never going to be here unless you're like in like squaring up and going at it. But usually when you're fighting, you're going to keep at a distance where like neither one of us can touch each other, right? And then if I step forward, he knows that I'm stepping forward to either attack him or anything else, because we have to break that bridge. Okay, so when you're doing the drills, it's kind of the same thing, because a lot of you guys are kind of getting caught. But it's like if Matt throws the punch at me right here, it's like how the hell am I going to get my hands up like that? You know, I can't. It's not. You're not going to have enough time. It's from here, and then I can do it. All right, and then if he steps forward and he kind of fakes it and he doesn't throw the punch, and I just come in, so what? I did the same thing. I don't have to just do it because he threw the punch. That was my entrance no matter what. I don't care if he throws a straight punch, a fake. I don't care what he throws. That was my idea in my head. I'm doing it. All right, so
that's your natural instinct. His shoulder moved. Oh shit! And that's what you do. Okay. Yeah. Maybe you do this. Maybe you do this. You know, going in.
All right, but just make sure you keep that, because a lot of you guys are getting like caught and you kind of like I don't understand it. It's because of your range. Okay, make sure you keep that range. All right. So.
Okay, so there's 2 sides to everything we're going to do when it comes to defense. And that's when somebody's striking us. We're either going to avoid it and not be there altogether or destroy it. Okay? So avoidance is very important because it opens up your game to the other side of the equation, and it makes you more elusive and harder to hit, which increases your overall fighting ability. Okay? First thing we're going to work on is 2 versions of slipping. Okay? First one is going to be a side shoulder slip, and the second one is going to be a rear slip. Okay? First one we're going to do is side shoulder slip. Okay? So I'm going to do these from a fighting stance in a left lead. Okay? So I'm in a fighting stance in a left lead. I'm square. Okay? I'm going to step exactly across with my right leg as I turn my shoulder, but my head stays fixed towards my opponent. So my head is here, and with the step and with the shoulder movement, my head becomes offline. So I just moved one foot here to here, and now the other foot tightens up, and I'm back square, ready to fight. Okay? But we're going to do this from a fighting stance. So I'm in a fight, and then just focus on my my legs for now, and I'm going to leave my hands down so you can see what my shoulders are doing. I'm going to leave my hands now. But I would be always fighting from either a fence or from a frame. For the illustration purposes of doing a side shoulder slip, I'm going to leave my hands down so you can see what my shoulder and my foot is doing. Okay, so I'm in a stance, my opponent is in front of me. I'm going to step exactly in line with my right rear leg as I bring my shoulder forward and the other one back. Okay, so I step and this turns, and this, which brings this back. And now I catch up the other foot, which makes me square again. So side shoulder to the right, 1, boom, 1, boom, 1, boom. Okay, so if I'm in a left lead and I'm going to the right, 1, catch up, 2, catch up, 3, catch up. A couple important points. My foot, when I step, is not landing on the ball of my foot, my heel. It's landing on my ball of my foot. Okay, the other thing is I'm not turning my foot out like an L. It stays towards the front. So when I drag it, I'm in the position I need to be in a fighting position. Okay, the other thing that's very important is my weight distribution on this front foot. Even though the whole foot is down, my weight is towards the toes and the front ball of my foot. It's not on the whole foot. And that is extremely important when it comes to learning how to slip and move. Okay? So I want you to lean back and feel your weight on your heel. Lean forward a little, feel the weight on your whole foot. And lean forward a little more and feel it where it's on your toes and your ball of your foot. This is a principle that a lot of people miss or just don't understand altogether. Okay? The rear is a given because the heel is up. My weight is forward. It has to be because the heel is up. But this is a little secret that a lot of people miss. And it's where my weight is with the front leg. Even though the foot is down, the weight is towards the toes and the ball of the foot, not on the whole foot. Because this way I don't have to shift to move. I'm already where I need to be. So I save time. Okay? So I'm in the right position on my lead, and I'm going to step across and move the shoulder with the step, and then catch up. Womp them. Womp them. Now when I go to the other side, it's the exact opposite. I move this foot directly across with this shoulder movement forward. My head stays forward, and then I tighten up the other foot. 1, tighten up and become square again. 1, square. 1, square. Notice I'm still keeping the integrity of my stance, the left lead. Okay, so be whoop, whoop. To the other side, whoop, whoop. This side, whoop, whoop. And I'm leaving my hands down so you can see them. I would be in my fence doing this, so I have dual protection. My fence and my head movement. This is very applicable in self-defense because a lot of times you get tapped in the shoulder and somebody's punching you in the face. And you learn to slip and move before you can get a frame up or something up to help you guard your head. So head movement is so important for self-defense. Slipping is the beginning of head movement. We have a lot of different versions of slipping, about 15 of them. This is the first one, side shoulder slip. Okay, so Mike's going to be in a conversation stance, and I'm going to have his hands down for this. I want him in a conversation stance because this is going to mimic like I was over here and I tapped on Mike's shoulder and he just turned to me and he didn't even put a fence up yet. He just happened to, somebody got his attention and he's right in the middle of, oh, a punch in my face. So what do I do for this? And this is where the slip comes in. It's not really just for the ring. It's a huge world for the street. Okay, and it's mandatory to start it from the beginning. Okay, so you get in this conversation stance. I'm going to throw my left hand at Mike, the center of Mike's face, and he's going to side shoulder slip with his hands down. But as he finishes the slip, he's going to be bringing his hands up. So the first piece is the step with the hands down, and as he catches up the other leg, the hands come up into the fence and into a fighting position. Okay, so we're here and we'll start slow. When I feed the mitts, I feed the whole mitt at his nose. 1, and then he comes up with his hands by the time he completes it. So the first step is with his hands down, and then as he completes it, his hands come up. And most important, if I am feeding, I don't throw it to the left or right. I gotta go right for his nose. So you can understand that by slipping, you see how much space he created there with the step? So just do that slow with the step. That's me going right at his nose, okay? Now, can Mike slip without a step? Of course he can. Just slip with the shoulder, and then I'll take him out. But the idea is you want to get your body weight moving and off the railroad tracks. I don't want Mike to slip, and then he comes back from the slip and he gets hit with the cross. Okay, when he steps with the slip, now look at my cross. Okay, there is no cross because I need to change my angle now. So that's why we're having to move off what I call the railroad tracks with the slip. So we're always going to step with a slip in the beginning. It's very important. It's going to lay the foundation for all head movement the proper way. Okay, so here we go. The first one with the jab with the hands down. 1, and now he comes up with the hands in a fence, in a fighting position. Conversation stance, up, and now he's ready to fight, heel up. Okay, let's do that one again. Up, heel up. Again, up, heel up. And this, you can see how this could be important. Then I throw the right, he's still in a left conversation stance. I throw the right, and he comes up, same thing, ready to fight. Okay, again, up, ready to fight. As he gets better, I can go quicker, 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 and quicker. Okay, but in the beginning, when you're feeding your guys, let them go slow and get all the mechanics. With proficiency, you speed up the speed. Okay, one more time, left, and one right. One left, boom, reset the drill, one right. And this is A. You good? Back to white belt and talk about first set of slipping. So first set of slipping, the 3 slips we have are side shoulder slip, 1, and I'm leaving my hands down on purpose so you can see my shoulders. Left side shoulder slip, right side shoulder slip, okay? The next slip was rear slip, and the next one was U slip, 1, under up, 1, under up. Okay, the footwork is the key with the shoulder. So the white belt was I push off the left and I bring the left shoulder forward and I step. 1, and then I catch up, 2. On the other side, it's the opposite. I pick up the left foot, push off the right, and the shoulder, 1, and I catch up, 2. What happens with this slip is I keep my distance. So if your hand is out, okay, I'm going to the side, which means when I go to the side, I maintain my punching distance and I'm not encroaching. I'm at the same punching distance. So I'm not going back and stop slipping. It's a side shoulder slip. So I go to the side. So I'm still in room to hit him, but I'm not too close where I got to go to the body and use a bent arm punch. I still use a straight arm punch. And the same thing with the other side. Boom. I catch up and I can still go straight punch. I don't have to go bent arm because I'm at that appropriate distance. The next slip you're going to go, now we're in slipping 2. So now we learn encroaching slipping, okay? Because we're going to use the same shoulder to the right, but instead of moving the rear leg, I'm going to move the front. So now I'm going to step with the front forward as I bring my left shoulder forward and then catch up. I go boom, boom, which does what to me? Takes me closer.
Close the range.
So now my distance changes. But I'm starting to understand distance because I understood what it was to stay at punching range in blue belt, white belt. Now I'm understanding, okay, I'm going to make my range a little closer. And now I'm going to go bent arm punching or elbowing because my distance is closer. Okay, so now when the jab comes in, I'm going to learn how to move and in. I square back up. You see I'm closer now? It's conducive to different weapons because my distance changed. Does that make sense? So on the left side, I go 1, 2 on the white belt level. On the blue belt level, I go 1, 2. It still takes me out of line. That still takes me out of line. If I move the other foot, boom, that takes me out of line too. 1 without the step, 1 without the step. No catch-up step right now. With the catch-up step, with the catch-up step. See, but I'm still moving that one shoulder, so this is just different, okay? They do different things, so you can do, and then we start adding them together. So I go 1, boom, 2, boom. 1, 2, 2. And even though I'm moving the shoulder the same way, I'm getting a different action. Okay, I'm still going in the same direction, but I can add them together for totally different feels. Okay, now my slipping's really starting to go different places. Okay, so I just want you to work on the right side first and not go to the left, because the left is a different principle. It's going to make more distance. Okay, so I want you to go do white belt, 1, 2, blue belt, 2. White belt, 1, blue belt, 2. And see, 1 encroaches, 1 keeps the distance the same. Okay, and now I'm working distance, and I'm working slipping with the same side foot or the different side foot. So I can go either way, and that's why we got to be 50-50. Why? When we're in our stance, remember, when we first learned this, even though this foot is flat, my weight is on the ball of my foot and my toes. And this one, my heel is up, so it has no choice but to be on the ball of my foot and my toes. This one is what a lot of guys have problems with. They think the weight is on the whole foot. No, it's not. That's not how you jump rope. You jump rope on the balls of your feet and your toes. It's the same thing when you fight. You need to, even though this looks, it's here, it's all here, my weight. My weight is on the front of my toes and my ball of my foot, even though my foot is flat. So it enables me to move in any direction without having to go to that position and then move. Okay? It's where it needs to be already. I don't have to go, oh, I'm there, and now I can move. Oh, it's there already. Okay. My head is slightly forward, and it's ready to go in any direction I want to go. Okay? So now that it's there, I'm going to do the first one. Back, it's back where it needs to be. Second one. Okay, and then back in. And then feel that. Okay? Feel where your weight distribution is. Am I on the whole foot? Am I in the middle of the foot? Or am I in the front where it needs to be? And then you'll move more efficiently. 1, boom, 2, boom. So when you do 1, bop, boom, 2, bop, boom. Feel it. Take a couple beats. 1, 2. Take a couple beats. 1, 2. Take a couple beats. Okay? And just work the right side slip, white belt, right side slip, blue belt. Okay? Let's go. He had a great question. He's like, are you bringing your foot across with the slip? No. My foot stays on the same railroad tracks. My shoulder is what brings me offline. And then the other one catches up and I become square again. 1, 2. Well, my head stays in line. My shoulder, but my head here. I don't turn my head with any slip. All right? I just move my shoulders with the slips. My head stays on target with my chin down. So I'm still looking at him. Never losing track of him and his counters, okay? So I don't step across with this, no. I stay on the track and I move my shoulder and catch up. So then the first one, 1, 2, that's to the side. Second one, forward. All right, 1, 2. Does that make sense? So I like to have my hands down so I can see my shoulder movement in the beginning. Okay, so you can really see how you're moving. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, and then take a couple beats, just like jumping rope. Get your rhythm. Boom, boom. 1, 2, boom, 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 boom. 1, 2, boom, 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 boom. And then I'll bring my fence up, and I'll do the same thing. 1, 2. Okay, but a reality is, if I'm slipping, I'm probably behind in timing, which means I'm surprised, which means I'm fighting from the hands down platform. Because I didn't have time to get him up. Tap on the shoulder, oh fuck. Somebody's punching me in the face, what do I gotta do? Whoa, there's no time to get this up. All right, so I need slipping, all right? So it's no problem for me to start working this with my hands down first. It actually makes a lot more sense. Because when it happens for real, that's probably the fighting platform I'm gonna be using slipping off. Otherwise I'd be destroying shit, right? But I'm surprised. That's the reality. Ambush on the street is the #1 thing you're gonna fucking face. So slipping is super important, okay? Because there's no time to frame, okay? So this has got to be developed, all right? So then we have 2 pieces, left and in, okay? Let's do it. I'm going to use really slow timing and just my hands. And I'm going to go right at his forehead. He's going to do 1, and then I step across, and then he does 2. And then he stays there, and I'll readjust, okay? And then I'll do it again. I'll give him like 5. 1, I step back, 2. All right, so he gets a feel. And then we do it again. 1, 2. And I'm going right to the forehead. If I hit, I'm just going to hit him with my palm. If he doesn't move, it's not a big deal. Okay? And I'm going at a slow enough speed for him to get his his body and his brain around it. And then when he gets better, I speed up a little more, and then we start using focus mitts and gloves. But this is like 101. 101 is really slow. Boom, feel the movement.
Feel the movement. Boom. Maybe I'll step forward, have him link the other drill if I want. 1, 2. Stepping back, link the other drill. 1, 2. Step to the right, link the other drill. 1, 2. All right, you can see how we can bring it into everything we did before. If I want to add the punching to the drill, great. I'll bring it right back to that standard drill we have with hitting on the fly, framing, and now slipping. Walter, everything gets connected again to one of the triangles. Now we're connecting it to slipping too. Yeah? Okay. You see everything just like a snowball. You see that's bigger and better, and more options, and bigger repertoire of fighting. Cool? All right, guys, so training equipment is really important. The MMA gloves I really like are the ones that have like 16 ounces of padding, because these are great for when I do drills like now where I'm giving my partner my body. And if his control isn't perfect, if you have gloves like this, these are a lot harder with a lot less give. These have 16 ounces here. Well, these aren't the worst of them. There's some decent padding there. But there's other ones that are really tight. That tend to not even give. These give a real lot. It's almost like a boxing glove. All right, I like this because if guys don't have control and they fuck up, you're not breaking your nose. All right, and right now I'm giving him my body. I don't have headgear on, so I like to be able to make a mistake without having to break my partner's nose. Guys work in offices, they really don't want to break their nose, so this is kind of important. All right, so you should have this in your brain already from white belt when we were sparring with white belt, but it's not. Just want everybody to understand that we're wearing these big ones because this is training, and we're working on stuff where I don't want to break his face and body up. All right, because he probably works in an office or works somewhere where it's relevant. Okay, so now I'm going to bring your hands down. He's back into his fighting stance, but with his hands down. So we are working that behind him timing. All right, now we're gonna be moving around, but I just want him to be moving around with hands down so he can see it coming. His head is down. When I'm firing a jab at him, his chin is down. This is important. He's looking up. He's never fighting like this. When you're fighting, your chin is down, your head is up, so you're not putting your chin on the silver platter. All right. You're looking up on it, so your head is, the hard part of your head is taking the front of it, and you're protecting your chin line. All right, even though that your hands are down. So I never fight like this. I always fight like this. Eyes up, boom, boom, like an animal. When I'm feeding it to his forehead. Okay, I'm not feeding it to his nose. Okay, so if he does fuck up, I'm hitting his forehead and not smashing and making his nose even uglier than it already is. Okay. So when I'm feeding this, I'm going to be in my fence, and Craig, can you keep it down? We're trying to record over here. So I'm going 1, and then I catch back up, and then I give him 2. Boom. Now it's up to him to play with either one first or second. I don't care. Okay, but now it's just dynamic. He does what he wants, but I'm going to be more tricky, and I'm playing for my blue belt fence, so I can go in, and I try to step in and get him. But once he does it, I want him to reestablish the correct distance for slipping. So he's not in punching range. I need to step in to hit him.
So I'll go back.
Okay, yeah, so either I go back or you go back, but we reset it. Okay, so we understand what the correct distance is. We're at it, and I feed. Boom, no wrist slip down. It's only the side shoulder slip or the one we just did, the blue belt one, because we're working on those specific skill sets, right? Okay. Either order he wants, okay? And then we reset it, and I go boom. We reset it, boom. Pick that foot up first. Boom, yes. Boom. I move around. I'm trying to get his forehead. Boom. So now he has to be a little bit better and faster because now there's more dynamic stuff going on. It's not just a drill with the fork. The whole palm was to get the mechanics and get it. Now we take it to the next level. We could go focus mitt, or we can go MMA gloves. I like MMA gloves because it's the correct fist distance. Focus mitt is a 6-inch circumference. It's not really that realistic. A fist is a lot better, and I'm not going hard at him. I'm just making it more realistic size-wise, as a focus mitt is big. Okay, so it makes it more real. So then we just have fun with it. I play. I go 1, boom, and then I move around with him again. He gets that distance, and I'm working my fence, and I'm trying to get better at sneaking at it and nailing him. All right, and he's working at his 2 versions of slips, in or out on the right side, because it's brand new. That's what we just learned. So we're trying to get better at that particular skill set. Boom, good. Boom, good. And then he feeds me. I got my hands down. Boom, boom. Pull, come in, right, pull, pull, and I feed him. And you do 3, 3, 4, 4, whatever you want. Okay, we play and get used to more real time, real fighting. Okay, let's go.
Oh.
Okay, so
All right, guys. We're gonna do some flipping.
we're learning what our center balance is, what our left weighted balance is, what our right weighted balance is. Okay, but we're still moving the shoulder all in the same direction. So when I'm here, oh, my weight's on this leg. Oh, I still move the shoulder to the right though. Now, when I do the second one, I still move the shoulder to the right, and now my weight is on this leg. And now I'm back in the middle, which is really important. Weight distribution, but I go back to 50-50. Boom, boom, okay? One, different distribution in the middle again. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, I'm learning how to like read that weight distribution like a basket off the cuff. Okay, and this is really important. And my control of distance and my distance awareness. When I am at a straight punch range, when I am now into elbow and hook punch range. Okay, my distance is changing, but I'm actively knowing that and dealing with it. Okay, if I would bring rear slip in, boom, now I'm in kicking range. Okay, if I go side shoulder slip, I'm in straight arm range. If I go the new side shoulder slip, I'm in elbow bent arm range. So my distance is going closer, the same, back further, depending on the slips I use. And I'm fully understanding that. And I'm fully understanding how to use those weapons at the moment's notice based on the distance I have. Appropriate distance for the appropriate weapon for the appropriate distance. Yeah? Make sense? All right, so let's do the other side now. Okay? So everybody's good with the right